What's up, Trucking Empire? Today I'm going to be talking about ELDs. I'm going to break down the entirety of the ELD. So I know some of you guys may want to watch this video for certain parts and pieces, so I'm going to leave timestamps below for you to be able to find which part you're looking for. If you have been driving for a while and you only need help with a couple different things, it'll all be in the description below. So I wanted to talk about your shift, your drive, your cycle, and your brake, how they all work together. And then I'm going to give you guys tips and tricks to maximize your profits and get as many miles a day as possible. We all know that in a truck, if you get $2 a mile, if you're going 1,000 miles, if you get an extra 30 miles a day, that's an extra $60. At $2 a mile, if you can squeeze out an extra 100 miles a day, obviously that's great and it helps you out. So firstly, we're going to be talking about the shift. Every day you're going to start with a 14-hour shift before you move your truck. That means if you move your truck to switch parking spots or something along those lines and you don't go off-duty personal convenience, your shift will start. You may move across the parking lot and then sit for 3 hours and then get a load, and then you only have 11-hour shift time. And that brings me into the next thing I want to talk about, which is your drive clock. You start with 11 hours drive clock, but you may not get 11 hours of drive time if you overlap your shift over your drive. Meaning, your shift has 14 hours, you have 11 hours drive time. That means you're supposed to be in the truck for 14 hours maximum all day long. That's the most you could be in there. So that means when you move your truck across that parking lot, let's say you set for 3 hours, then you get a load, your shift has overlapped your drive. So once your shift hits 11 hours and your drive is not started, it's going to start counting down your drive as well, and both clocks will simultaneously count down. That means when you take your 30-minute break, it's still going to be counting, etc. You're just losing drive time. When you go to the shipper and you sit and you're waiting on them to load your truck, if it's overlapped, you're losing drive time, which means you're losing precious money off of your truck. Every minute that goes by is another mile and another $2. So keep that in mind. I have a lot of guys that we dispatch that may start their clock on accident or make silly mistakes like that, and it just screws up a lot of their money. At the end of the week, they don't gross what they want to gross, and I have to explain this to a lot of my carriers. That's the reason for this video. I know a lot of you guys don't fully understand your clock. Next is your cycle. We use the 70-hour cycle with a 24-hour reset. That's the best way I've found to do it, because you can run 70 hours. If you ever get in a pickle, you can just stop your truck at 12 p.m. one day and be going again with a fresh clock the next day at 12 p.m. if you're off duty for that 24-hour period. 24-hour reset is by far the best reset time. Your break time. So there's going to be a clock at the bottom right that's going to say, break. I have 8 hours of break left. Okay, so with your break, it doesn't mean that you need to take an 8-hour break. It means that you need to take a 30-minute break before that 8 hours starts or is up. So if you're driving, you start your drive clock, and you're going and you get to where you have like 3.5 hours left, you can look it down at your break. If you've been going that consistently that whole time without being off duty for 30 minutes, your break time will be about 30 minutes left. It means you need to pull your truck over within the next 30 minutes before that timer's out and go off duty for 30 minutes. And that will give you the rest of your drive time. So that kind of covers everything that I want to discuss as far as breaking down what each function of the clock is and how it works. I wanted to throw in personal convenience, and I want to show you guys how to use it. So we're going to do a hypothetical load here. And I'm going to kind of explain how I would run my clock and how I've seen other people run their clocks. Some of these things you don't have to do, and I'll explain when I get there, but let's get right into it. So let's say on a Monday at 10 a.m., we are picking up a load from Los Angeles to Dallas. It's approximately 1,430 miles, and it's about 21 hours and 7 minutes with a car drive time. Always remember when you look up on maps how far it is to somewhere and how long it's going to take you. If you're not using a truck or GPS, it's not going to be accurate. It's going to take you longer because you have to take breaks, you can't drive straight through, etc. Obviously, that's a no-brainer, but some guys still get confused on that. So if it says 21 hours and 7 minutes, you can typically round it up just a little bit. I would say you can use this math. You can add 15 minutes for every hour. It says on the GPS, just to make sure that you have time. But I would say that for this route, it's going to take you around 25 hours, 26 hours. So you get the load. It's 10 a.m. on Monday. I call you, or you get a call from your dispatcher. hey, you've got a 40-mile deadhead to pick this load up. We need to go pick this load up and get it there as soon as possible. The faster you get it there, the more money you make, etc. Okay, we got 40 miles to go. This is the part that you do not have to do, but I've seen it done a lot, and I've never seen anyone get in trouble for it. Typically, an experienced driver is going to go 40 miles on personal convenience and not start their drive clock just yet. But you can drive that 40 miles. Let's say you drive that 40 miles personal convenience. It's going to save you really about 60 or 70 miles. So it's going to save you, let's say it takes you an hour to go 40 miles. It's going to save you about an hour, hour and a half worth of drive time, which is essentially $120 to $150. Okay, you get there to pick the load up. You left at 10 a.m. You get there at 10 a.m. to pick it up. Let's just say you get there at 10 a.m. Instead of you starting your drive clock on the way there and your shift starting to count while you're sitting there getting loaded, you've personal convenience. So nothing's started yet. As you're getting loaded, you can map out, the 1,400 miles, etc., and you can route plan while you're getting loaded. Not too many guys do that, but if you route plan and see where you're going to stop and how far it's going to be for your next stop, for gas and where you're going to stop for the night, it helps a lot better to coordinate things and get better ETAs. While you do that, you get loaded, you drive 700 miles your first day. Typically 700 miles is going to be about the max you can do, especially on the West Coast to, let's say like from Los Angeles to Dallas, like this load, you're going to be able to knock out about 700 miles in a full clock. That means you only stop to get gas, you spend 5-10 minutes at the gas station to get gas, and on your break, you stop and you do your 30-minute break and you keep it moving. You stop for bathroom breaks for number 2, but number 1, obviously, guys, you can do that in the truck. Women, I know you have to stop. It kind of sucks, but you can do it that way. Save as much time as possible. Every minute is another $2. Think about that. So you do 700 miles your first day. You left at 10 a.m. It probably takes you, another extra 30 minutes to an hour for your gas and your break. So you stop at 12 a.m. Okay, now you stop at 12 a.m. You get up and you have a 10-hour reset to get a fresh clock. That means at 10 a.m., you're going to be able to get up and you're going to be on the road. You knock out your other 700 miles. So, you have, there's a 1,430 mile load. You've got 34 miles left. Okay, so you stop you leave at 10 a.m. and you stop at 12 a.m. again. The reason for this is you're going to lose 2 hours, 2 hours to get to Dallas on your clock. It's 12 a.m. you stopped. Next morning at 10 a.m. you can get up and you can drive your last 40 miles. Again, you can personal convenience this and not start your clock because we may not have another load for you, or your dispatcher may still be looking for a load. And if you start your clock and you go that 40 miles to drop and you started your clock and you're sitting there for 4 hours while we're looking for a load, or your dispatcher's looking for a load, that can burn up, precious time because your shift's going to overlap your drive time if you just sit for 4 or 5 hours. So you don't have to do that. Obviously, that's just an extra tip that, I'm not going to give you legal advice and tell you to do that or tell you not to do that. You can do it if you'd like to. If not, it's all good and dandy. It's going to save you a little bit of money, if you do it. If not, you're taking a little bit of a risk to get pulled over and get a violation. I don't want anybody to get violations, so take that at what you will and use it at your own risk. If you don't want to calculate this kind of stuff, we do dispatching for 26-foot box trucks and up. That means semis, any trailer type, box trucks, 26-foot and up, any type. We calculate all of this for you. And, we can make sure that you get to places on time and maximize your ELD. Maximizing your ELD is going to maximize your pockets. Your ELD and your money go hand in hand as far as how far you can make it and how much money you can make in this game. So it's very, very important you guys understand this. I know some of what I talked about was pretty complex, and it may not be too easy to understand, especially over a video. Like I said, me and my team dispatch, we're looking for trucks. If you want to get dispatched by us and have us explain things like this to you as we're going so you can learn yourself, feel free to email me at my email below in the description. And that's pretty much it. I have a dispatching course also. It's always in the description of every video. You can go check that out. It's $500. Teaches you from the ground up how to start a dispatching company, etc., etc. This video was very requested from you guys, so I'm hoping that I could have helped today and got you guys the right information for you to understand your clock better and make more money. For the time being, I'm gone. I'll have another video real soon. Thanks, guys.